Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled was one of the best games of 2019, so it's pretty unsurprising that Mario Kart could really learn something from it. Yes, 2019 saw Mario Kart, the King of Kart Racers, face a real challenger for the first time in about, well, forever. CTR stormed onto the scene, bringing new dynamics and features to the mainstream kart racing scene and won the hearts of many kart racing fans like myself. With that said then, what can the next Mario Kart game learn from CTR to make it even better? Now don't get me wrong, these games are completely different in many ways and should always keep their core differences, especially in relation to stuff like game mechanics and gameplay, and Nintendo should do their own spin on today's ideas. I'm advocating that Nintendo take inspiration from today's ideas and not just copy and paste, obviously. However, that doesn't mean that we can't all benefit from them learning off each other, especially when it comes to things like content and customizables. What a nice link that is. So the first thing to talk about is aesthetic customization, which is an absolute mouthful, but CTR does this incredibly well, and Mario Kart in reflection just doesn't do it so well right now. Now, I have to admit, I never used to be so bothered about this. I've played lots of Mario Kart games, and if you'd have asked me about customization, I'd have probably just looked bored, and it just wasn't a concern of mine. But since diving into CTR this year, I've really started to see the merits of customization, and I think that Mario Kart players once experienced in it could and would appreciate it so much too. So what exactly am I talking about? Well, Mario Kart 8 does have some customizability, like cartwheels and parachute or gliders or whatever you want to call them, but there is so much more potential. In CTR, you can customize karts with stickers and paint jobs, and doing this just helps to make the experience more unique to yourself. In an online lobby, for example, your kart can really stand out from the crowd, well, unless you're like me and you come last and you don't want to stand out at all. However, that's not the biggest thing. Because in CTR there is skins, and these would be such a cool addition into a new Mario Kart. Like in Mario Odyssey, there's loads on offer. You can like dress Mario like pretty much however you want him, depending on what level you're on. So a variation of skins isn't a completely new concept to Nintendo, and I think it'd be a good one to bring to the next Mario Kart game. Now obviously I know that variations of characters do exist in the game before you go down there and tell me all about it, like there's Tanuki Mario and Dry Bowser to name a few, but I think these would work better as skins than individual characters, and even if you kept the likes of Dry Bowser on his own as a character, it doesn't mean that others shouldn't have separate customizable skins. Honestly, there is so much to go at, and unlocking these in CTR is so much fun that I really do feel as though it should be considered. As a taster, think about the sheer number of skins possible for Mario, never mind the rest of the characters, taken from all of the games he's been in. See, I have blown your mind now. But before we go any further today, just feel free to go down in the comments, let me know what kind of skins you'd like to see for characters like Mario and stuff, if this kind of stuff was introduced in the next Mario Kart, and if you are enjoying this video, consider hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo and Crash Bandicoot videos every single week. It does help us out a ton. So what was I just building up there? Well, the best bit of innovation in CTR by quite a long way in my opinion, which I'm hoping can be almost revolutionary in the kart racing genre, is the Grand Prix system. Now, the Grand Prix system works like this. Every month for free, there is a new Grand Prix which brings a new track, new races and new skins, customizables, and sometimes, well, once, a new game mode. Much of this, including the new track and game mode, is added and playable straight away in a small patch, but for the new characters and customizables and stuff like that, you unlock them either by winning races in the game or just taking part in races in the game, or in some cases by buying them in the pit stop with the in-game currency. Now this has given CTR so much more life and replayability. Although without these monthly events, I'm sure people would still be playing the game to some extent, it wouldn't be anywhere near as big as it is right now. If Nintendo were to do something like this, it wouldn't even have to be as regular as monthly. I mean, just think about the fighter pass and all that. There is 5 Smash Fighters a year pretty much, so you could do it as 5 Grand Prix a year or something like that. but just think about how much content they have to go at with both Mario and the world beyond Mario, other franchises. To name a few, a Super Mario Odyssey Grand Prix could bring Pauline to the game, a track inspired by either one or a number of the worlds in Odyssey, and some cool customizables inspired by the game to a number of characters too. As I said or hinted at a little while ago, in my mind, a character wouldn't have needed to even be in the game to get a skin inspired by it. This idea is probably clearer in the prospect of something like a Star Fox Grand Prix, where even though Mario hasn't ever been in Star Fox, maybe he could get some kind of cool Arwing inspired skin. All of these sort of stuff are possible. Obviously, with the proposal of stuff like Star Fox, we are verging on igniting the Mario Kart versus Nintendo Kart debate, which I really don't want to get into today because it makes people angry. But whichever way it goes, there's content to be got at for a Grand Prix style system. Also, we've already seen a willingness in Mario Kart 8 to bring in at least some outsiders. So, you know, we've had Isabelle from Animal Crossing, Link, etc, etc. So there's plenty of content to go at. So far this idea has all been rainbows and unicorns, positive, but yeah, there is a problem. Now, one of the biggest challenges this idea faces is how it would be implemented and worth it for both players and Nintendo. Ultimately, I don't want to go over it too much in this video. Maybe in the future I could make an entirely separate video on the concept or something, but basically I don't want to see Nintendo meddle with microtransactions in any game. And microtransactions is what makes Activision lots of money with CTR and its Grand Prix, and allows them to offer the Grand Prix to players for free, and for those who really have some time to put into it, all of the content for free. Basically, microtransactions in CTR just allow you to pay for in-game currency if you don't want to grind it all out. Now, I know stuff like Mario Kart Tour has microtransactions from what I've seen, but it's just really a big no from me. It doesn't seem morally right in a kids game especially, and because of this, it's just gonna make life difficult for Nintendo and Mario Kart to implement a Grand Prix styled event. No microtransactions means access to the Grand Prix style thing, or whatever it would be called, goes behind some form of DLC style paywall. This isn't anything unusual for Nintendo and I completely accept it, but then if players are paying for DLC because it's behind a paywall, do they really want to have to grind for the characters and all the customizables? Wouldn't they rather just have it right there and then? Maybe one solution is that on paying for access to the Grand Prix, you receive like half of the stuff. You receive the main character of the Grand Prix, a new track, one of the coolest karts, some basic skins and some interesting ones, and maybe, I don't know, like a new soundtrack or something. And then as you work your way through to unlock other stuff in the Grand Prix by racing and stuff like that, you can unlock another racer, more skins, more karts, stuff like that. So it's sort of divided 50-50, so you get something for your initial purchase, but then you've also got that replayability and enjoyment of working through and unlocking stuff. Now, although from the outside I accept that it sounds like it could be a real hassle to implement, and it's not as easy as implementing as it was in CTR with the microtransactions, but having played lots of CTR and lots of the Grand Prix for months now, if done properly, we will all enjoy Mario Kart more, and it's certainly worth, in my opinion, finding a solution to. Like I said at the beginning of this video, Nintendo should take inspiration from these ideas, but they'll need to mold them to work to fit Mario Kart and them best. CTR and Mario Kart fans, I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this subject, and if the stuff we've talked about today could or would work, what do you think? Do you want to see it? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed today and want to see more videos on both these sides of the channel, more Nintendo, more Crash videos every single week. Finally, please remember to go over to Twitter and give us a follow if you want regular updates on what we've got coming up, and feel free to interact with us. I'm not scary. I don't think. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video soon.